Welcome back to Melissa Talks, where we talk all things uniquely you, all the feels fall edition. And today we're going to have a quick dose of what I am calling wellness wisdom for everyday life. And today's topic, something we've all been dealing with every day here lately, and that's the up and down temperature swings. One day it's warm and sunny, the next day it's cloudy and chilly. And of course, some days we may have at least seasons experienced in a day. That could be cool and chilly in the morning. By noon, we have a bit of spring. And by the afternoon, we have summer like temperatures, right? And of course, when that happens, your body can't always keep up, right? Maybe you felt a little run down, or you've caught one of those unfortunate, annoying things that people say are colds or almost colds. You're having some symptoms, as I like to say. So, again, we'll share here a few tips on ways on how to protect your health when the weather keeps changing from day to day, from how you dress to what you eat, and a few habits that keep your immune system strong no matter what the forecast says. Now, a little bit about how weather can affect us when it is swinging from one temperature to another. Your bodies actually notice those sudden changes more than we think. When the temperature drops quickly, the blood vessels in your nose and throat become more constricted. This is done to help the body conserve heat, but that also makes it easier for viruses to, unfortunately, find their way in. Plus, we have the dry air, especially when the heater kicks on, which no, not going to mention anybody in my household, but anytime there is a bit or a hint of it being cool, the heater needs to be turned on. And this unfortunately can irritate the airways and make your throat feel a bit scratchy. Even if you're not sick, your body is working harder to regulate its temperature. That's why you might feel unusually tired or even achy after a few days of what we are calling weather whiplash, right? And if you unfortunately deal with anything like allergies or asthma, we understand that these fluctuating humidity levels can make those symptoms worse. So it's not your imagination if you're sneezing more here lately than you have been before. And I have been traveling now nonstop for about 2 weeks. And I have noticed this around the many people that I have been around, that once one person is sneezing in one area of the room and somebody else is sneezing in another area of the room, and it's just that time of year, right? So one of the easiest ways that we can look to protect ourselves is through what we call smart layering, and that has to do with your clothing. Of course, we want to start with something that's more breathable as our base layer, something cotton or moisture wicking that won't trap in that sweat, unfortunately, right? We don't want that. Add a lighter sweater or even a hoodie. We know the young people now, that's their go to, a hoodie. And then you can top that off with a jacket, something that you can easily remove. And again, dressing in layers is going to be key for you. Obviously, by the time the afternoon warms up, you can shed off a layer or two. One, go ahead and take off that jacket. Two, remove that hoodie. And of course, you can give yourself the opportunity to cool down faster later in the day just by dressing in layers. Also, don't estimate as it relates to accessories like scarves or even light hats. Most of our body heat escapes from the head and neck, and so keeping on those warm clothing can help prevent chills. All right. If you have kids, which many of us do, you want to make sure that you're, at least if they have the space in their backpacks, packing an extra sweater or even a jacket in the car or again in their bags. The just in case is always going to be key because that extra layer makes a huge difference. Now, looking at how we can help our immune system, food and hydration, first and foremost. We understand that the immune system itself is the first line of defense when it comes to this weather being up and down and round and around, right? Support it. Of course, aim for your colorful, nutrient dense foods, always thinking about vitamin C. That's our go to for sure in our home. We keep orange juice there. Obviously, we try to make sure we get the more natural orange juice that does not have a lot of sugar in it, but that is going to help you. Leafy green vegetables, these, of course, have iron and your antioxidants in it. And that just only helps even the more, especially with red blood cell production when it's around this time. And then a few other things, some turmeric we've heard being utilized, ginger, garlic. A lot of those things have anti inflammatory properties, and we want that. We can also keep in mind warm foods like maybe soups or even herbal teas. One of the main things that I do, especially when traveling in the mornings, is green tea. And for some reason, it just does, I don't know, it does the hydration. It helps me, of course, with, coating my throat, that warm, and just, of course, the herbal aspect of it. And I always use decaf. I'm not a caffeine drinker, so definitely has to be decaf for me. But warm foods like soups again and herbal teas, they do double duty there. They hydrate, like I said, and of course help promote your circulation. So when it comes to hydration, we understand drinking water is essential. All right, essential. Don't skip it. Dry air can dehydrate us, and just as easily as a hot summer day can do that, not drinking can do the same thing. So be sure to stay hydrated. You can try warm water with lemon or even herbal teas again if it's plain water that you don't like. Some people just don't like to drink, plain water, but there are things that you can do to look to flavor it. Another thing I just said, I don't do a lot of caffeine, and we do around this time recommend that you decrease caffeine in your everyday diet. It can dry you out and also affect your sleep. So keep in mind, do your absolute best to, one, again, decrease the caffeine as much as you can, as it can dry you out and also affect your sleep. Good rest, we know, is also key to a healthy immune system. And then just looking at some overall daily habits. One, I just said, get enough sleep. And these are small things that you can look to alter or tweak in your everyday life. Looking to get more sleep. Your immune system repairs itself while you rest. Try to stick to a regular bedtime, even on the weekends. And I know that's hard, even for myself, right? The second one, keep moving. You don't have to do some over the top, drastic, intense workout. A brisk walk or some light stretching helps with circulation and also keeps your energy steady. So, keeping that in mind. Another thing to be mindful of is to take care of your indoor air. If the air in your home feels dry, use a humidifier or even keep a bowl of water near the heater to add a bit of moisture to your home. Open your windows briefly during the day to let that fresh air in. This can look to reduce germs and also allergens. And lastly, listen to your body, right? If you're feeling run down, don't push through. Give yourself an early night or a restful morning, okay? Preventing a cold is much easier than recovering from one. And we all know that, right? So keeping that in mind when it comes to listening to your body. Sometimes another thing real quick here before I do look to close this out is not overlooking our mood. When the weather changes, we do understand that some people, if it's a bright day, we're up, we're happy, we're go lucky. But when that weather changes and it goes from bright to gray, your body's internal rhythm can at times get thrown off. You might feel a dip in that energy or motivation that you usually have. That is okay. It's normal. But we have to look to balance out our moods. Get a bit of morning sunlight. Even 10 minutes helps to reset your body clock. Keep your space bright and open, and do one small thing that grounds you each day. It could be journaling, and that's just an example. I'm not a full journaler or a person who likes to journal all the time, but I will do deep breathing exercises or I will stretch. So do those few things before you just jump right into your daily routine. But first and foremost, prayer, right? Giving thanks to God, grounding yourself in the moment with Him, oneness in Him. Yeah, that's first and foremost. Your mental health and your immune health are more connected than most people realize. So take care of it. Take care of one, it supports the other. Again, mental health and your immune health. And as I close, when the weather can't make up its mind, consistency is your habits. That's your best defense. All right. Consistency in your habits is your best defense. Dress in layers, eat real food. I gave some examples here. Stay hydrated, move your body, and sleep. Get rest, right? Get enough rest. Do those things, and your body will look far better than you think. Once again, this is Melissa Talks, where we talk all things uniquely you. Tune in next time for another episode of All the Feels Fall Edition. If today's episode helped you, share it with a friend who's been sniffling or complaining about this crazy weather and how it is up and down. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms except for Facebook and Twitter, but we are on Instagram, okay? But until next time, stay well, stay balanced, and stay ready for whatever the forecast brings. Bye.